most Desis, like almost every Desi, I'd say, drinks chai.
Oh my, bro.
Cha.
Bro.
Oh Kiddan. Hello, namaste, kamcho, assalam alaikum, and Sat Sri Akal. What up, guys? Welcome back to the Oh Kiddan podcast. I'm your host, Tej, and we got Tej's Pops back with us.
Sir, we back.
Let's go.
Back in the building. Yes, sir. All right, now that the formalities are out of the way,
Yeah.
my man, I appreciate you having me back, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you getting on.
So, why are we here today? What are we discussing?
So
what are we
today
talking
we're
about?
going to talk about Desi stereotypes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are the Birdman? Is the Birdman the nice and slow one?
Yep.
Bro, this make it controversial.
Yep.
Because Desis have a lot of stereotypes.
Yeah, a lot.
My God, we could probably do a whole series of episodes on this concept. But we're gonna keep it short. Like, we're gonna keep it concise. Let's just touch some of the high level ones, and then we can dive deeper in some other ones that, later down the line.
Yep.
So I'd actually love to have this conversation with some of our Desi guests we've had on.
Yeah.
This might be a good follow up. And I'd love to hear what our viewers think about some of these, because I'm sure some of them are gonna hit. I think they're gonna hit them personal.
Yep.
Might cut deep. But you know what? We're here for that, right?
Yeah.
We're here for that. All right, sir. So Desi stereotypes.
All right.
Oh boy, here we go. So you want to start first? You want me to start? How do you want to do this?
I'll start it off.
You want to start us off?
All right.
All right. What is our first Desi stereotype that you, I guess, from your perspective?
Yeah. So our first Desi stereotype for me is that most Desis make you take your shoes off when you come into their house. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually, you know what? That's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. And you know what's crazy is that this phenomenon of taking your shoes off as the Western world's actually catching up on that.
Yeah, it's catching up.
Right? Even they've kind of started doing it, but I think like they've started entering some of our homes, and they picked up on the whole idea. Oh, they take their shoes off and kind of walk around. I mean, because that's kind of how Desis are. We've been born and raised that way.
Yep.
Right? You walk into someone's house, take your shoes off, walk around your socks, maybe slippers, get some sliders on, whatever.
Yep.
So and I know the Western world is starting to more so adopt that same way of living. But we're gonna take credit for that one, man. That's all us.
Yep.
Right?
That's all us.
So we own that.
Yep.
We've been on that. Y'all just got here. We've been here.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been here. But that's actually a good one. That's so true. So every time so note to self and note to others, if you walk into a Desi house, you probably don't want to wear socks with holes in them.
Yeah.
Right? Wear some good clean socks.
Yeah.
Or your feet are going to be exposed.
Yeah.
Right? All right, cool. I like that one. That's a great one. That's a great one.
All
That's
right.
a great way to start us off, right? I think that hits everybody from North India to South India and everything in between, and even people across the world in different parts of the world, right? That hits all of us.
Yep.
I like that. Good job. Good job, man. Look at that.
Thanks.
My man. All right. So mine are gonna be a little more controversial.
All right.
Right? I think yours that's a nice rated G.
All right.
Right? Mine might get a little controversial here because I have a little more life experience, let's say, more perspective. So let's start with, I'm gonna call this fair and lovely. The reason I say, so you're not going to understand some of this, so I'm going to educate you on this episode. You're going to get some education too on this episode. Okay. Now, Fair and Lovely is a very popular brand in India, which is basically, as the word says, fair meaning light-skinned, and lovely. So light-skinned and lovely coincide, I guess, in the cultural mind of a lot of Desis. Okay. So if you're light-skinned, you're considered lovely. Okay. If you're dark-skinned, perhaps not.
What?
Right.
That's crazy.
Correct. It is crazy. I'm totally against that way of thinking.
Yeah,
that philosophy
too.
is so backwards. It's so antiquated, asinine, ludicrous, whatever adjective you want to use. It's ridiculous, is what it is.
Yeah, that is definitely ridiculous.
But that's a normal way of potential thinking amongst a lot of Desis. If you're trying to get your a young girl, a young woman married, when it's time for her to be in that, that phase of her life, that's the thing that's considered. Like, she's so, her light, skin, like light skinned, and badi fair and lovely hagi hai, right? Like, okay, so what if you're not? Are you you don't fit into the category of being a beautiful woman or a beautiful young girl or a pretty girl, right?
Yeah.
So that whole concept is a Desi stereotype that I'm not with. Like, I'm not with that.
Neither am I.
I think I just find it to be actually repulsive and very disgusting, honestly, to even have that kind of thinking. So I told you, mine's going to be controversial, man. Some of these on my list are going to be controversial.
That's controversial.
Yeah. It might get people a little feeling a certain type of way.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't make it right. Right? That type of thinking, in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree with me here, is that it's not the right thought process, right? Not the right approach.
Yeah.
When we look at beauty.
Yep.
Right? Because and this is mostly for girls. Like, girls really. Now, if a boy is not as fair and lovely, it's okay, right? We can get away with that. So right there, you have your gender inequality.
What?
Yeah. So you have, like the girls have their own inequality right there, like a light-skinned girl and a dark-skinned girl. And then you got now if a boy's dark skin, it's not as bad. So they have these preferences between gender and how they review that concept between genders, and also how they view that concept with just between the same gender.
I'm so against that.
Likewise, right? So it's not something that you have control over when you're born. Like, you're born the way you're born.
Yeah.
You ain't got control over that.
Yeah.
No one gave you a checklist and said, "Oh, well, how do you what kind of body you want to go into?" Oh, you want to go into a 6'3", fair and lovely. No, ain't nobody asked that, right? You get what you get, and based on past karma per our beliefs. So yeah, very controversial.
Yeah.
However, I don't believe that.
Yep. All right, so next. Most Desis, Punjabis mostly, love their paranthé. Yeah.
That's actually, I could get with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Right? Desis love their paranthé, man. Whether a paranthé for our Western world folks are basically, it's a type of dish. It's a type of basically bread. In essence, you could say, right? Not quite bread, but it's stuffed.
Yeah.
It's stuffed with potatoes.
Yeah.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
You can put radish in it. You could put broccoli in it. You could put paneer in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could literally put anything you want in it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's up to your creativity. But the more standard paranthé, and by the way, just a correction on here, because I know y'all Western people love butchering our names. Right?
Yep.
It's not panther. It's not panther.
It's an aloo panther.
Listen, the Black Panther eats aloo paranthés, right?
Yeah.
He may be eating them. I don't know, but it's not panther. It's called paranthé.
Yep.
All right, paranthé.
Yep.
So say it with me, paranthé.
Paranthé.
Right, paranthé.
Yep.
So, or some people call it parantha. That's one. I've heard it say that way, right? Parantha.
Yeah.
So paranthé is plural. Parantha is singular.
Yep.
Little English, I guess, a little grammar and English lesson there.
Yep.
So basically, it's stuffed with some type of vegetable per se, right? It's a vegetable that's stuffed in. You can have onions in there. You can have a bunch of different varieties. Like me personally, mix it all up together.
Yep.
Right? Give me a combo.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That standard is cool, but let's do the remix, baby. Right? Let's get the remix.
Yeah.
I want gobi paneer together. I want aloo paneer together. I want gobi aloo together. I want every combination. You know what? Now I want all three together.
Yep.
Just mix it all up.
Yep.
Why not? Is there a rule against it?
Nope.
Right? Because the reason I ask that is because when I go to a restaurant and I look at the menu, I can only get one.
Yeah.
There's only one type.
Yeah.
Like what if I'm in the mood for like 2 or 3 different kind, but I don't want them separately. Yep. So now you're telling me to get 3 different separate ones and then break them all together, kind of stack them up like pancakes, break them all together. I'm not trying to do all that.
Yep.
So take the stuffing, mix it up.
Yep.
So this is why when I go to Indian restaurants, I don't order paranthés, right? or the other way they say it. I don't order paranthé like that. I order other dishes that I normally wouldn't cook at home.
Yeah.
But like when your mom makes them, man, she gets mad at me sometimes. But I want my combos.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, you gotta make the combo version there. We ain't going with that singular. Like, all right, it's cool. Every now and then it's all right. It's cool. But I'm gonna need the combo.
Yep.
Right? What's your favorite paronta?
Favorite paneer.
Paneer? That's it?
Yeah.
You see, you're not with the combos?
Paneer paronta.
No combo for you?
No.
Come on, man.
No.
Man,
paneer,
it's boring.
Plain paneer paronta is the best.
That's boring though.
No, it's not.
Come on, seriously?
No.
Nah, man. I like the mix. I want the 3-pack.
The 3-pack.
I want the paneer, aloo, gobi.
Okay.
Give me the trifecta. Right? Because the most common one is aloo, right? Potatoes, gobi, cauliflower, and paneer like this, Indian cheese, right?
Yeah.
Those are the 3 most popular ones, favorite ones I've generally seen anywhere, everywhere.
Yep.
All right, well, let's put them together and make a super paronta.
Super paronta.
That's it. We're going to call it the super paronta.
The super paronta.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great one, man. You got these nice, like, cool ones, and I'm over here getting, people coming at me with pitchforks. Hey, but you know what? I'm here for it, man. We gotta have those. We gotta have those conversations.
Yep.
And I'm gonna keep my trend going here.
All right.
So mine is boys and girls are equal sometimes. Maybe, occasionally.
Sometimes.
Never. From Desi culture, man, there's a lot of hypocrisy, and I'm sure other cultures may have it.
Okay.
But what I've experienced, like there is so much hypocrisy in Desi culture, man, especially between boys and girls. That's why I said boys and girls are equal, right? Sometimes, maybe, occasionally, never. Because mom and dad be like, oh, haan, sare ikko je hunde hai, right? Oh, see, we are all equal. Boys and girls are equal until they're not. And here, let me give you a prime example until they're not. For example, I actually just talked about it. Fair and Lovely, right?
Yeah.
That same dark-skinned boy, dark-skinned girl, apparently not equal anymore.
Yeah.
But here's so that's more controversial. Let's go a little bit more simpler.
Okay.
Day-to-day life. Okay. Boys and girls where they're not equal generally, boys get to go chill out with their boys and hang out at their homes and their friends and all that till potentially later than girls can.
Yeah.
Right? They come home a little later. Oh, mera putta aa gaya, putta ki khana, this and that, right? All that.
Yeah.
Kidda reha tada, theek siga? Enjoy kita si, fun siga? Right?
Yeah.
Meaning that did you have fun? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
You had a good time?
Yeah.
Girls, man, you better be home before that double digit. You better be home before that double digit, that 10 o'clock hits, or some houses even before that, right? Some houses have, what I've seen is sundown.
What?
You better be home. Or maybe 8, you better be home. And if you ain't home, pata nahi kitte, phone karo cheti onu kitte gayi pata nahi. Right? It's more like, where'd she go? Oh my God, call the police and the ambulance and paramedics and the firefighters because she's not home yet. Where'd she go?
What?
Yeah, man, it's like that, right? So there's that difference between boys and girls. Like everyone's equal until they're not.
Yeah.
And that's that moment is that simple example, going out.
Yeah.
Chilling out with your friends, going out to a dinner, going out to just chill or hang out, or you all kids don't go to the mall anymore. Like in our day, we used to go to the mall.
Yeah.
But just whatever, right? Like, so that's where a big difference comes in between boys and girls. And I'm sure there's tons of other examples our viewers can give us. But that's one that immediately came to mind, just the whole concept of going out. And I know a lot of our Desi YouTube influencers have done parodies on this concept of, playing multiple characters and mom yelling at the daughter when she's late.
Yeah, whereas, I've seen somebody on YouTube do a parody where he's like for the oldest child, food for the oldest child. Mom always tells the oldest child to get food from home, eat food from home. The middle child doesn't even get food. And the youngest child gets like McDonald's.
Oh wow! Right, so bade nu ghar di roti khani pendi hai, right? So the oldest has to eat from home. Whatever mom made, you got to eat.
Yep.
Whereas the youngest gets the privilege of, let's take, you go have fun and right. And the middle child's like, he's here or she's there, whatever. You figure it out.
Yeah.
Wow, man. And that's another one. Sibling ranking.
Yeah.
Right? You got your oldest child and you got your youngest child and you got middle, depending on how big your family is, right? But the oldest and the youngest, there's another division.
Yeah.
another inequality.
Yeah.
Where the youngest and the oldest gets treated. Now, this is not gender, but gender makes it even further complicated.
Yeah.
But the oldest and the youngest, there's a big difference in how they treat them, how they raise them, what privileges they get.
Yeah.
And I've been on the receiving end of that, where there were certain things I was, as the oldest kid, I had to kind of take the beating, I had to take the hit, where my younger sibling was allowed to then go get or do what I was not allowed to do because I took that the A whooping.
Yeah, because I've seen another parody, somebody doing a parody about like the youngest child, like when they go to the store, they tell the oldest child he can only get like one thing, but then the youngest child can get like whatever he wants.
There you go, right? And really? Like, really? But that's reality, man. That happens. That absolutely hames. So in that sense, I'm sure this a lot of people can relate to this, man. So that's great.
Yeah.
All right. So my turn? Or is it your turn?
My turn.
Your turn. Go ahead.
All right. So next, most Desis, like almost every Desi, I'd say, drinks chai.
Oh my, bro.
Cha.
Bro. Oh, we did a whole episode on this, man. We did a whole episode. We brought Techi out.
Yeah.
And our first thing was first thing was what?
Yep, cha.
First item was cha.
Yep.
And we did a whole short on it. Cha is like the essence of, we talked about it like a lot, is the essence of, man, Desi culture.
Yep.
Right? Every part of Desi culture globally.
Yep.
It's cha, man.
It's cha.
Cha is our blood. Cha is our bloodline. That's the commonality, common bond which unites all of us Desis together is cha.
Yeah.
Even more so, there's a recent restaurant that opened up in the local area called Cha.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and our little one, your little brother, who's like 4 years old, even he knows Chal cha chu chaliye, right? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, man, that's cha.
Yep.
Cool.
It's all cha.
Those are all facts.
Yep.
Facts.
It's all cha.
It's all cha.
Yep.
Which is, it's all good.
Yeah.
All right. My one, I want to keep that controversial trend going here.
All right.
Hi mera put.
Hi mera put.
Hi mera put, man. Listen, you got to be Desi to get this one, because hi mera put meaning, it's not going to hit the same, but meaning, oh, my son.
Yeah.
My wonderful son. Not in a bad way, like, oh, my son, but oh, my wonderful son. Right? In Desi culture, Hai mera put, which meaning your mothers, like the mothers especially, speaking in a term where their son is the best and the greatest. Can make no mistake. Right? Can walk on water. Can do all. And then you want to pamper and baby them and give them, and even when they have their own kids, you still want to pamper and baby them. Hai mera put. Right?
Yeah.
Man, so there's that side of it.
Yep.
And now you have the girl side. You don't get the hai mera put or hai meri kudi. You say more so like it becomes a whole. So when I say hai mera put, I'm talking like the son he's not obligated to learn. There's no pressure to learn things, to know things. Oh, he'll get it. He'll learn it with time and experience, right?
Yeah.
But with the girl, तेनू रोटी पकानी आंदी कि नहीं? तेरे ना किसी ने ब्याह नहीं करना. Right?
Yeah.
That's what comes out. With the girl, man, it's like she has pressure. She's got to learn how to do this, that, and the next thing. Yeah. Because she's going to get married and go to her in-laws' house, and she's got to have all these skill sets available to her. Like, she got to have a bag. She got to have a bag of skills, right? So that's what skill work, right? She got to have a bag.
Yeah.
Her bag got to be deep. But the boy, he gonna stay home. He ain't going nowhere. We gonna take care of him because hi mera put. He ain't gotta learn how to do laundry.
What?
He ain't gotta learn how to cook. He ain't gotta learn how to take the trash out. He ain't gotta learn nothing.
What is this?
That's hi mera put.
I made up.
Right, which is in my opinion very detrimental.
Yeah.
Right, from a developmental standpoint, from becoming a man, right, to becoming like I mean, listen, you trying to grow up, right? Yep. And if you're trying to grow up and you're trying to be independent and successful, you got to drop that high mera put attitude. That's got to go.
Yep.
Because hai mera put is you're gonna stay a put and you're not gonna become a banda, right? An admi, right? Because or that process might slow down.
Yep.
Right. And if you want to be independent in your life and you want to be successful and kind of go do your own, this is just my opinion, right? You may not agree with this and that's fine. No problem. But in my life experience, what I noticed that any kid, a lot of my friends back in the day, when I hear about them, they're still puts. They're still a put.
Okay.
They still live at home. They still live with their parents. They got families. But they never went out and lived. They never went out and made their own way, right? They never went out and you know how you got to learn how to fly.
Yeah.
When the bird leaves you back in the nest, and now the baby bird's got to learn how to fly.
Yep.
Right? And the more it's high mid up put, the longer it's going to take.
Yep.
And you don't want to get to that point where, I mean, like where you're looking back and saying, yo, like mom and pops, I don't know how to do this basic life skills.
Yep.
This is why it's important, even for girls, right? Like girls got to have a bag or got to have a skill set to go when they go to their in-laws. So they prepare them early. Oh, tu roti banani sikh la, tu aa sikh la, tu wo sikh la. Kyunki tu jana hai, phir ghar da naam badnaam nahi karna, bas besti karayenge, tu aa hoega, wo hoega, right?
Yeah.
If they say, tenu aa nahi anda, tere maa piyo ne tenu ki sikhaya siga, this and that, right? There's this whole conversation behind that.
Yeah.
Except, where's the demands on the boy?
Yeah.
Right? We got to hold our boys accountable too.
Yep.
Not just the girls. We got to hold everybody accountable, right? So equally, they both have bags. They both can handle business. They both can take care of themselves and others and become grown-ups when it's time to become a grown-up, right? When you're a kid, be a kid. Yep. But when it's time to be a grown-up, it's equal. Yep. Right? I mean, that's my opinion. That's how I believe. I don't know how what your take is on that. Yeah. Are you with that?
Yeah, I'm with that.
I bet, right? Because your sister, your brother, you, right? Y'all got to be trying to raise y'all equally. Yep. Right? Obviously, I'm not telling you to go and like tackle your sister. Well, your brother's a little more okay with that. Yeah. But from a skill standpoint, right? We want to teach y'all the same life skills, basic skills. For example, how to change a tire. Yep. Right? You got to learn. Your sister got to learn. Yep. Right? All three of you got to learn. Yep. Cooking. You got to have general basic working knowledge of how a kitchen operates. Yep. Right? I'm not telling you to say, oh, yaar, tu roti, samosa, tadkela, whatever, all that. Mm-hmm. Sure, if you know how to do it, you want to learn, bet. Right? Yep. We're going to teach you basic skills. If at some point you are going to get taught. All right. Your sister too. She going to get taught. You going to get taught. Your brother going to get taught. Yep. You got to have the skills, and there's no like difference between kudiyan aa kam nahi kar sakdiyan, munde aa kam nahi kar sakde. Nah, munde and kudiyan can both do everything, right? Boys and girls both can do everything. They can learn any kind of thing. There's no certain type of work that's reserved for girls only and reserved for boys. Nah. Y'all got to learn life skills together and all of them. Yeah. Right? I bet. So that's high mid up put and that whole concept behind that. Man, I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna get the controversial stamp on me. Yes. Go ahead.
All right, so next, most Desi parents are pretty strict, especially with academics.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
Facts. Those are absolute facts. There have been countless parodies on this topic. Yeah. Right? I think even between like other cultures have done it. Yeah. It's not just Desis, honestly. It's a lot, especially the Eastern culture, I will say. Yeah. As is very heavy on academics. So if you get 1 A-, the world comes to an end and you're going to become a failure in life and then you're never going to get married and nobody wants to be with you and you'll never get a job and you'll suffer. You will suffer in the depths of, whatever it is that you may believe in. It's just not good for you. That's it. You're the worst.
Yeah, like I've seen a parody of a kid, like a test happened and he got a perfect score, 100 out of 100. And he said he could have got 105 for bonus points, but usually that happens, but it didn't happen that time. And his mom got what?
Over emotional, dramatic.
Yeah. Why didn't you get the bonus score? 105.
That's it, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And that basically summarizes Desi culture.
Even a perfect score is not a perfect score.
Correct. Because there were more points to have. It's Desi, man. We're Desi. We want everything. Yeah. We even want the extras for free. Yeah. Right? That's how Desis are. Yep. This is why, man, buy one, get one free. Right? Those coupons, those BOGOs. Yep. BOGOs for YOLOs, right? You only live once. YOLO, right? I want it all. It's basically the Desi mindset. And there's a reason behind it, right? We're making a little like heartful joke about it, but at the same time, there's a reason for it. As immigrants, we come to foreign countries. We come here. We build our lives from nothing. So we're starting from scratch. And now, starting from scratch, you got to survive, right? Mm-hmm. So it's that whole mentality of I need to survive. It's the survivor's mentality that I left everything behind. I come to this new land and I got to come here and I got to make it, right? Because failure is not an option. There's no concept of I'm going to go back.
Yep.
I'm here.
Yep.
And we got to succeed. And for success, we got to work hard. We got to sacrifice. We got to do what others are not willing to do. And this is why we do some type of occupations which stereotypically, especially in Hollywood, they portray us in some of those occupations. But again, we are willing to do those jobs to survive and to succeed because that work mentality, that work ethic then goes to our kids and they pick it up. Like my pops and my mom, my dad, they worked hard. They didn't cut corners. That's the general. I'm not saying that applies to everybody.
Yep.
But the general mindset of a Desi is study hard, work hard, and then have fun in your life, right?
Yep.
And I remember I got advice once in my life when I was younger, about to enter, like high school, getting ready for college.
Okay.
It was either you work hard now for the next 4 years, right? Stop everything, sacrifice everything, work hard for 4 years, hard, and then you will enjoy the rest of your life. So work hard for 4 years, enjoy the next 40 years.
Okay.
40 plus years. Or have fun now, enjoy this next 4, 5, 6 years, like messing around, not working hard when it's time to. And then you're going to end up having to work hard for the next 40 plus years. So that kind of like resonated with me, that mentality, that concept. Yeah, you know what? Like it's a very easy decision.
Yep.
But in the moment when you're a child or when you're young, you're thinking like, man, my friends and this and that, I don't want to be left out, and peer pressure. But the one who says, nah, man, I got to set my life now because this is my moment.
Yep.
And I'm going to enjoy it later, right? So, and that's kind of like the Desi mentality.
Yep.
It's not about now, it's about later, right?
Yep.
I'm investing now for later. So this is kind of like where that mindset comes from.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool, man.
Okay.
So I want to stay there. I'm going to stay on that then.
Okay.
On that same concept. Basically, because you talked about occupation, right?
Yeah.
Mine is non-traditional occupations. Desis who do non-traditional jobs. What are Desis known for stereotypically? You're an engineer.
Yeah.
You're a doctor. Something in that field, right? You're in medical.
Yeah.
Engineering, which could be IT, electrical, whatever. Like you're some sort of in that engineering trade craft, right? Or engineering trade. You are in the medical field, whether like a doctor or a surgeon or a dentist or some type of practitioner in that field, or you're a business owner. And a business owner generally, I'm generalizing it, right? There's a lot of other ones, like you're in other parts like finance, and like I'm not getting too detailed here. I'm just getting general overview.
Okay.
Business, you own a business, right?
Yeah.
Meaning now the general gas station from where I grew up, that was heavy. Okay. Right? Trucking is a big one. Okay. Gas stations, 7-Elevens, I've seen a lot of Desis. I've seen store owners like restaurants. Yeah. A lot of Desi restaurants. I've seen a lot of basically where Desis are in some type of service industry where they own that service industry, a taxi driver, whatever it is, whatever service they provide. Okay. Right? So you're an entrepreneur for yourself, or you're in some type of academic field, like medical, or right. And if you deviate from that, if you say, nah, I don't want to follow these, the STEM, I'm gonna step out of this. I'm gonna go totally left field. Okay. You know what happens? What? I want to be, let's say you tell your parents, I want to be a photographer. I want to be a professional photographer. Okay. I want to be a chef. I want to design custom shoes. And tint. We did an episode on this gentleman. Yeah. My brother, your uncle. Yep. I want to just not do the casual tradition. I don't want to do the traditional thing. And there's nothing wrong with doing the traditional thing, right? That's your passion. Power to you. Yep. But I want to do something different. Oh my, OMG, bro, OMG. It is like the end of the planet. Yep. At that point, like, oh my God, na badnaam karuga sada inni padhai tenu karayi si is kam piche tenu padhaya na khaya na. right? कि तू बाहर जाके आ काम करेगा, right? तेरे parents, तेरे दादे, नानी, आ सारे घर दे सारे रिश्तेदार की कहणगे? That's it, right? That's the conversation you get to hear.
Yep.
And that's such a toxic conversation because that doesn't allow the child to spread his or her wings and go be free, right? Expand their creativity. Go say, oh, I have a different skill set.
Yep.
How are you going to learn what you're capable of if you're not given the encouragement, inspiration, motivation to go do it?
Yep.
What if you end up becoming that pioneer who becomes that inspiration for others?
Yep.
Because you went and, treaded your own path, right? You were the trailblazer.
Yep.
So like, I'm not with that. Like, listen, if you want to follow the traditional path and you have a passion in medical, absolutely do it. Power to you, right? You want to get into IT, do it.
Yep.
Absolutely do it. But don't be forced into it.
Yep.
Right? Don't do it out of peer pressure. Don't do it because your parents pressure you. Don't do it because your friends are doing it. Because what is society or what your relatives, your ristedar what are they going to think? What are your cousins going to think? Are you living for you or are you living for them?
You.
Right? You got to wake up every day and be happy with what you do.
Yep.
So that's my message, right? For example, like just a quick example of that, like some people we know are doing very unorthodox things, right? Power to Puneet, man.
Yeah.
Puneet, he told this story.
Yeah.
He started off in medical.
Yeah.
Right? Medicine. That was where he initially was interested in.
Yeah.
Started it and kind of like, he went through it. He liked it. But then his love and passion was really for custom shoes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make just any custom shoe.
Yeah.
He makes very high quality, high end custom shoes for a lot of high end customers.
Yeah.
Right? So Veer Das being one of them.
Yep.
And some NBA hoopers, like and some other really big designers. And you could check that on his IG. But the point is that him having to go through that journey,
yep,
being one of the first of his kind who looks the way he does,
yep,
I'm sure he had to face some struggles.
Yep.
But he kept with it. He was good at it. And today, like that's his full-time gig. Yep. And much respect to him, man. I salute him for stepping away from that and pursuing his passion unapologetically.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with this. It's a noble profession, noble trade, right? The guy's in it. He's earning a living, honestly.
Yep.
Right? ईमानदारी दी कमाई है, सच दी कमाई है, अपनी कर रहे हैं. So what's wrong with that?
Yep.
But the Desi mentality will say, for example, you want to be a chef. Oh, ये हुन लोकां दी रोटियां पकाऊगा. But what if you're a super high-end culinary chef?
Yep.
Right? रोटियां पकाओ और पुनी medical छाड़ के यार तू जुत्तियां बनाएगा लोकां वास्ते. Like think how that sounds, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like degrading, but it's not though. And that's the part where I'm trying to say is like, if you're in that boat where you feel like, man, like I feel like I'm made for something else, something different, pursue it. Yep. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yep.
You'll fall once, you'll fall twice, but remember, success follows the grind. Success follows the grind. If you grind it out, success will come. Yep. But you got to stay steadfast on it, right? You can't be worrying about what so-and-so thinks, what my ristedar, my relatives, my neighbors, it ain't about them. It's about you. Yep. You got to live this life. So go live it. Yep. Right? And they say you only got one, make the most of it. Yep. Sorry, I went on a little a little rant there, but my bad, man. I'm trying to. All right. So this one kind of hit deep with me. All right. Because I was also in that boat where I steered away from the traditional. Okay. And I went through a lot of those hurdles that I'm sure Puneet went through. Okay. And you know what? Here we are today, man. I can't say that thanks to, to God. Yeah. For all the blessings. Yeah. So, sir, what do you got? What's next?
Next. Most Desis have a lot of superstitions.
Bro, that's a whole episode in itself. Yeah. That's a whole episode in itself, man. Yeah. Oh my God. Desis and their superstitions are, like, I want to pull your hair out. You want to pull your hair out, man. And you can't keep track of them. I feel like there's you could probably have a whole encyclopedia or biblical, like this entire volume series of Desi Stereotypes. Yeah. And the funny thing is that each culture within the Desi culture, the subcultures, has like a plethora of them. Yep. Which is like, how do you keep track of all this? Yep. Right. For example, like, and this is a common one even in the Western culture, like when a black cat crosses the street, like, oh, okay, billi rasta kat gayi.
Yep.
Billi rasta kat gayi, which means whether if a cat crosses, I can't not cross, otherwise it's bad luck. So I got to go around now a different way because the cat crossed. And it's like I'm not big on these superstitions, man. Like as a God, I'm not as a fearing God loving person.
Yeah.
I'm not with all that, let's just say.
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy ones. Oh, ji raat nu nail nahi katti de. Apne nail nahi katti de. Raat nu vacuum nahi kari da. What are some other ones? Some of them I don't even understand. Like, especially when marriages happen. Some of these like things they do, I don't understand some of them. Like when the first time, I think when the kudi comes or the daughter comes to the house as a newly wedded bride, on the side of the door, like they pour like a little bit of oil on the outside, I guess, the porch or the steps.
Okay.
What? I don't know what that's about.
Yeah,
maybe somebody can explain it to me. But even then, like there's some type of superstition behind that. Why do you do that?
Yep.
What practical purpose does that serve?
Yep.
Then there's the picture, like the rice. She throws a rice behind her. And it was explained to me, dana duna jo bhi khana pani chhad ke jandi hai. Okay, but why rice?
Yeah.
Like, why are we wasting rice? Why are we wasting food?
Yeah.
Right. And there have been some movies on this concept where, for example, and this may get real controversial, like in India, like places of worship where they pour milk on certain idols and all that. And what they showed was in the movie or in some where the milk is just going into the gutter and being wasted. Right. You're pouring milk on an idol. I get it. As a form of worship, but the milk, it ultimately goes in the gutter and gets wasted.
Yeah.
So what if and they showed in the movie that they took the milk and gave it to a homeless and a hungry person and they fed their stomach. And so now you're thinking like, oh, so what if I feed a hungry person? Would that not please the worship that I'm trying to, the deity that I'm trying to please? Would that not please them that I'm feeding a hungry person? Right? Versus the act of or versus actually feeding somebody.
Yeah. So
there's like a whole there have been a few movies made on this in Bollywood that you're welcome to go check out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you do your research, you probably know which ones I'm talking about.
Okay.
But superstitions, man, there's a ton of them. I can keep going and going. For example, here's a common one. If you go to India, you may have noticed this. At the top of homes and when you walk into a house or the top of the house or even on the big trucks, the transportation trucks, you'll see a string. I think it's a red string or a black string. I don't remember. And on that string is a lemon and mircha and chili peppers. And they hang them as part of like Buri Nazar. Buri Nazar. And Buri Nazar is a big, big thing. Buri Nazar meaning like the evil eye. To protect ourselves from the evil eye, apparently a lemon and a few chili peppers do the trick.
What? That's just crazy.
Then that's the Western culture thinking, right? But Eastern culture thinking, that's a thing. Buri Nazar, I'm sure it's a thing. But is a lemon and a few chili peppers going to do the trick?
What?
Right? So that's the other one is, kala tikka la lo. Kala tikka meaning the kala surma la lo. It's like a black type of like paste almost, like the eyeshadow or whatever the girls wear, or what is it, the kilande, the girls, whatever they wear on their eyes. Okay. That dark black thing. Yeah. Or kala tagga la lo, black tagga. Okay. Kai log apna utthe ban lende ankle te, they put it on their ankle, they tie a black thread around their ankle or their arm or on their neck as a necklace and on their wrist, or they put a black til somewhere behind their ear, and it's supposed to serve as a way to protect them from Buri Nazar, the evil eye. What? Yeah, it's a thing, man. It's a thing.
But what are these superstitions?
Yeah, and just like that, there are so many more. So yeah, man, like stereotypes is a big one, and I think we should probably stop it there. Yeah, because we can keep going. This can go long. Yeah. So let's stop it at stereotypes, and we'll pick it up on a future episode, and just keep the list going. I'm sure our viewers can easily give us a ton more of these examples, and we'll be happy to discuss them, and we'll be happy to talk about it. Because listen, there's no topic that I'm shy to discuss or I will avoid. Nah, man, like we keep an open forum here. Yep. And I think you may have learned some new stuff today.
Yeah, I learned a lot of new stuff.
And I some of the stuff was reinforced to me when you reminded me. So again, thanks guys for joining. Yep. Remember to go follow us at Oh Kiddan, and see you later.
Yep.
Alvida, Aapjo, Khudafis, and Sat Sri Akal. Till next time, peace.
Peace. Oh Kiddan.